second part to discuss tonight is why did we choose Idaho?
Yes, we looked at a lot of different places. We looked everywhere from Maine.
Yeah,
we looked Oregon, Washington. We briefly talked about
Montana,
Texas,
Wyoming,
Wyoming,
Salt Lake,
North and South Dakota, Colorado. Just all kinds of places that we looked, we discussed. Things got
Alaska even.
Alaska. We talked about Alaska. It is so beautiful up there, but it can be rough to live in Alaska. So I get that.
Yeah.
But there's just a lot of factors that we were taking into consideration. Again, we wanted to move somewhere where we could live happily ever after, not just somewhere that, oh, this sounds good, let's just move there. No,
right.
we researched. We did a lot of research on what programs were available for my son, because we wanted him close by to keep an eye on him, to help take care of him and everything. He's special needs, so he's kind of all of our other kids. We love them too. We love them dearly, but they're capable of taking care of themselves. Unfortunately, he's not. So he was a big factor in where we moved, because again, we needed to make sure we could find services that would suit his needs.
And just a heads up for you guys getting ready to retire, one of the deciding factors originally was we could get Kaiser up here. And apparently they changed the rules for Kaiser. We would plant, because Spokane is very near to where we're at. We could easily just go over the border, access our Kaiser facilities there, keep our insurance, everything would have been cool and great and dandy. But when did they say they changed the rules on that? Do you remember?
I think it was, I don't remember when they changed the rules exactly, but earlier this year when we were looking into transferring our Kaiser from Northern California Kaiser to Washington Kaiser, because we would have Washington Kaiser, when we were looking to transfer it, we were told by the retirement people that they can no longer put us on the Washington Kaiser because we weren't actually living in Washington.
I guess there was a time that people couldn't live in Idaho, work in I guess you can still, if you work in Washington, you can still get it. Was that what they said?
Okay, so you have to be a Washington resident, living in Washington to get it for Washington. Or if you lived in Idaho but you worked in Washington, then you can get it. So there are Idaho doctors that accept Kaiser, and there are Washington doctors and so forth that accept Kaiser, but there's not a Kaiser hospital on the east side of Washington state. There's not, and it's not Kaiser that you're dealing directly with. You're actually dealing with businesses, hospitals and doctors' offices and labs and everything that are contracted with Kaiser. So they're a third party actually. And there's some here even in Idaho that Kaiser's contracted with, but you have to either work in Washington or you have to live in Washington to get the Kaiser. They were giving it to people who were moving to Idaho, that were retiring to Idaho, and I guess they got in trouble and they got told, no, you can't do that, that you can only give it to people who are living in Washington or working in Washington.
So if you have your heart, if you're going to be retiring or moving in the near future, or more farther distant future, if you want to keep your Kaiser, really research and look into this and see, because you don't want any surprises on the other side.
Yeah, or even any insurance. You definitely want to look and see what insurance is available through the county retirement system where you're looking to move to, because if there's no insurance available, what they do is they put you on a plan that costs an extreme amount of money for very little coverage. To me, it's a ripoff. I mean, the U.S. medical system is a ripoff anyway, because it's so expensive for everything here. Medications, treatment, everything is so expensive here. It's ridiculous.
But actually, you did a really good job finding the Blue Cross. We're saving like about $400 a month cheaper
Yeah,
than Kaiser.
we do. Idaho does kind of subsidizes your health insurance premiums if you make within a certain amount of money. So we did qualify for that with all of our income. So it's pretty good. I mean, you can make a pretty penny and still qualify for this. It's a tax break, is what it is for state tax, but. And what they do is they automatically apply it towards your premiums, so you don't have to wait till the end of the year to get your money back. They actually apply it every month towards your premiums, and then at the end of the year you do your taxes and get it all figured out if you still owe or if they owe you refund or whatever. So it's just like regular taxes. So
yeah, that's the insurance side of it. Gasoline, yes.
yeah.
I'll pay $3.29 a gallon any day of the week, man. It was in weights or resistance training where you've been carrying a heavy load all the time. That's what California has done for me. It's burdened me so badly financially that coming here, everything's a breeze. The locals, they do not really whine about the prices.
Not really. The people here are not big complainers.
No.
Some of them, their biggest complaint is the Californians moving here.
Yeah.
Who have the Californian mentality. If you decide to move somewhere, don't move there and think you're going to turn it into another Californian or wherever you're from. Don't think you're going to change a whole environment to be what you're used to.
That's what Oregon and Washington are for.
Yeah. If you like the environment you're in, then stay in it. Don't try to move somewhere else that might be total opposite of what you're used to and think you're going to be able to change it. If you're not going to like it, then don't move there. It's that plain and simple. Don't move there. That is, again, another factor that we had to consider. Is this a state we can live in? Is this a state that has the same beliefs that we have? Is this a state that is more on track with what we believe and what we like and what we want? And many states we said no to simply because they're not. Maybe they allowed things that we were not into, that we didn't agree with, or maybe they didn't allow things that we think should be a right. So these are all things you need to research before you find where you want to retire to. Don't just move somewhere because it looks pretty, because that's not enough. It's not going to look pretty. It's going to start looking very ugly very quickly if you realize that the people living there think the total opposite of you. So do a lot of research before you just up and move somewhere.
Yeah. If you're sitting in a restaurant and you see a couple guys coming in packing and that scares you to death, don't come to Idaho. If you see them and it's like, yeah, this is all right, we're safe.
Welcome to Idaho. Yeah. So if you are against guns, don't move to Idaho. Because they say that at least half the people here are packing. You can have a concealed weapon and you don't have to get you don't have to have a permit for it. So you don't have to have a concealed weapon. You can bring that gun in with you. I mean, there's some places the guns are not allowed. That's understandable, respectable, but in general, we go into the automotive store and somebody will walk in and you can clearly see the gun on their hip. It's just, that's how it is here, and you just have to accept that's how it is here. If you are not okay with it, don't move to Idaho. If you are all for it, then then that's great. But just remember, when you're researching where you're moving to, just do your research. Really do your research. Look at all kinds of things about where you want to move to, not just, oh, it's pretty, or, oh, it's cheap to live there. There's so much more to where you live than how much your rent is, or how much, how much nature there is around you, or if you're a big city person, don't move to the country. If you're a big country person, don't move to a big city. And that's you just really got to do a heck of research to make sure you're going to be happy where you live.
Yeah. The intro where you see me driving the truck down toward the house, down that country road, that's what it's like around here.
Yeah, we drive through the fields to get anywhere just about. We live really 2 blocks from, I think it's probably alfalfa or hay, and it's literally 2 short blocks from our house.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could walk there in like 2 minutes maybe. It's that close that I can watch the farmer do his job if I wanted. We live in the country. It's in a small town, but where we live, it's not in the town so much. It's a little away from the town. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, to get to the cities, it's 20-30 minute drive just to get to Coeur d'Alene, just to go to the doctors. We do have doctors here, but just to go to our doctors. It's our doctors down in Coeur d'Alene. The closest hospital's down in Coeur d'Alene. So we have a little drive to get there to get things done, to go shopping. If we want to go to Costco, we have to go to Coeur d'Alene. If we want to do a lot of things, we have to go to Coeur d'Alene. And again, it's a
If Casey
half-hour
wants
drive.
Panda, we go to Coeur d'Alene.
But he wants it like daily, but he does not get it daily. He
No.
wants it daily. He does not get it daily.
So,
But
yeah, all the pluses and minuses, I have to say, I am very happy with where we're at.
I am too. I really, even though we're new here, we're from California, I have to admit that the Californians who keep moving here, who keep trying to change this to California, they're driving me nuts.
Yeah.
They are driving me nuts.
I saw a
So
couple
why
today.
did you move here? Why? Not too many people wear masks here.
It's leave it up to your own judgment, basically. It's not
Yeah.
mandated, it's suggested.
It's mandated. It's mandated in medical facilities, the
Federal.
hospital, federal buildings. If you can get in, federal buildings don't seem to talk to anybody anymore. Just trying to get a hold of them, you have to wait and let the phone ring at least half an hour
Yeah,
before they
everybody's-
finally answer it. It's a nightmare. But
That's for everybody. It's just
yeah,
not-
that Veterans Administration,
'Cause they're all federal.
Yeah, they're a nightmare to try to get a hold of and get any help from at all. So, yeah, so that's how it is. But it is weird because here we go around. If we see somebody wearing a mask, they're kind of the odd man out. They're the one that they stand out like a sore thumb.
Nobody makes
because
fun of them or nothing.
no,
'cause
yeah,
who
nobody
knows what's
makes
going
fun.
on in their life?
They
you
may
know?
have a compromised immune system or whatever. It's their choice, but they kind of stand out like a sore thumb because nobody else has masks on. But you go right across into Washington and go to like Spokane, which has a lot of stores and stuff like that. So it's kind of nice to go there every once in a while to shop. But you go over there and everybody's got masks, and you're
Yeah.
kind of, even though it's not required, it's only recommended. And it's only, and it's not required unless you haven't been immunized, which they won't ask if you've been immunized or not. So, like in Idaho, it's recommended if you haven't been immunized, but there's people who have not been immunized who wear masks. I mean, who don't wear masks, but there are people who've been immunized and they still wear masks. So but you go to Washington and it's just almost everybody has a mask on. And being from Idaho, we're not used to wearing masks anymore. So going to Washington and we're just going shopping and we're not thinking about putting a mask on. Yeah, we don't wear masks in public, but you don't think about it. And then you walk in a store and you're shopping and you start to realize you're the only one in the store who doesn't have a mask on.
Yeah.
And so now you're the sore thumb sticking out because, again, we're not used to wearing masks here. We're not required to wear masks here. It's just a suggestion, and they ask that you wear a mask if you have not been immunized, but they're not going to question you whether you've had your immunizations or not.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of just a different environment altogether. Just going from one town to the next town on Highway 90, is it? Yes, 90. Going in on Highway 90, you get
90 or
off at
95,
Post
yeah.
Falls and
that's
nobody has a mask, but you go to Spokane Valley, which is like the first town or second town into Washington State, and everybody's got a mask on. So it's just weird, just that 10-minute drive. It's a huge difference in environments, just one state from the next. So it's interesting, but
Another thing moving here is the weather. Kason's waiting for the snow, and
yeah,
in church he'll say, "Is the snow coming yet? Is it coming yet?"
yeah,
And it's a different thing to take into effect. I had to have my sprinkler system blown out because you don't want the water freezing in the pipes and bursting them underground during the winter.
yeah,
Like right now, it's 8:30 in the evening. It's 37 degrees outside. Nice and warm in here, though.
yeah.
And
Yeah, these houses are made very, very insulated here. We've been pretty comfortable. So
Yeah.
even me, who gets cold all the time, even I haven't been too bad. I've been pretty not so bad. So it's been nice. But
tomorrow night's Halloween. We'll see how the trick-or-treaters are.
yeah, it's supposed to be kind of cold, but it's not supposed to rain tomorrow. We've been getting rain off and on the last few days, but it's supposed to be clear skies tomorrow. So that'll be a nice Halloween day and hopefully Halloween evening
Yeah.
for the trick-or-treaters. Yeah, we will have trick-or-treaters. We don't know how many.
Yeah.
We have not been here long enough to know that.
A few houses
But-
are decorated around here.
Yeah, there's some houses that are decorated. There's people who bought costumes and
But in about 7 weeks, 8 weeks, it's going to be actual winter. We'll see how that goes.
yeah.
All the fire hydrants up and down the street have these big old long posts on them so you can find them in the snow.
Yeah,
so we'll see how that goes.
To
I
mark
will
them.
share pictures when that happens.
It's yeah. So and sometimes it snows a lot here. Sometimes it snows just a little bit. So it's kind of different. But again, that's something we realized we would have to deal with if we moved here. Is that we will have to drive in the snow. We will have to consider there might be black ice. This is an environment that if you don't like the snow, if you don't like the cold, again, research this stuff. Don't think that just because you're moving to somewhere in Arizona, it never snows there, because it very well might snow in the winter. You just have to really, really research when you're trying to decide where you want to settle on when you retire. It's just...
Gotta put snow tires on the truck here in a couple weeks. We already got cables just in case.
yeah.
We put Chris's car in the garage for
Garage
the
and-
winter. So that'll be cool. Literally.
Well, probably get cables for it too, just in case. So we have it for emergencies, but we don't plan on using the car much in the winter time.
True.
So
overall, loving it here.
yeah, it's nice. Other than when we first moved here, the weather has even been nice. It's been more to my liking. So definitely not as hot as California was.
No. This week's highs are in the 50s. Next week's highs will be in the 40s. So getting down there. People are nice here. Found us
They
a
are.
good church. We're all
They
set
are.
up. All's good there.
They're very nice here. We've met some great people here, making great friends here. So it's really
Yeah.
nice. David, I don't think we were in the house one day and all the neighbors had introduced themselves to David. So Dave knows all the neighbors. We've even asked them already if they could keep an eye on
Yeah.
our house so we could make a trip or something. They're like, sure, no problem. And they did. They collected our newspaper for us and any packages that got
Yeah.
left on our porch while we were gone. They're awesome neighbors, awesome, wonderful neighbors, very friendly people here. So thank you, Idahoans. You guys have a truly big heart, and we appreciate that. Thank you.
I'll